G'day everybody, Strangers103 here today with a replay cast for you guys in the Hakuryuu. And first of all, I wanted to say, have a look at this amazing matchmaking. We have a Hakuryuu, a Montana. Yeah, Iowa tidbits for our battleships. The one Hindenburg, Ibuki, Shima, Fubuki, Luoyang. We do have 13, they have 11, but the enemy gets 9 out of 11 tier turns. Haku, 3 Montanas, 2 Yamatos, and Iowa, not tier 10 of course, Hindenburg, Gearing, Shimmer, and then our Fletchers. They basically get 2 tier 9s and 9 tier 10s. What do we get? 2 Fubukis, a Shimmer, that's our DDs. So we're at a slight disadvantage, but that doesn't really matter because I'm here in the Haku. I can easily fuck up enemy destroyers if I have to. Ibuki, sure, could be useful against the battleships, but the 2 Hindenburgs don't have any cruisers to feed on, so they're probably not going to have a great game. And 3 Titbitzers, again, good at beating up cruisers. How many cruisers does the enemy team have? 1. Great, fun, fair, and dynamic gameplay. Well done.
Battle starts.
Anyways, selecting all my squadrons, so you can see what I give them for orders. First of all, before we actually get to do anything useful, standard launch cycle for my Hakuryuu: 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. It could actually be beneficial to do it like 4, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 instead, i.e. get 1 torpedo bomber up because they're the ones that ready first, then launch both of your fighters because they'll catch up to the torpedo bomber, and then launch your 2 other torpedo bombers and the rest of your dive bombers, because the dive bombers at the end of the day are the least useful aircraft in an early game situation like this for anything other than scouting purposes. But, you know, if you're using them for scouting, then, to be honest, I don't know, you're not really there for the damage, I guess, or the game is just so infested with DDs. But if it's so infested with DDs, you pretty much are, you just fly towards the middle of the map and you're almost certain to find one. Anyways, as you can see, I'm ordering my torpedo bombers to fly down the south and west borders, potentially in this case looking for an enemy carrier snipe, because if I am able to kill off the enemy carrier in the beginning, that would give me a massive advantage and the ability to do free play against the enemy's fleet without having to worry about the enemy battleships, and it would certainly help me in protecting my replacements overall, since I wouldn't be meeting fighter squadrons with my torpedo bombers and, you know, the enemy ships. It's not like they're just going to randomly run away and start attacking my planes invisibly or anything. So yeah. Anyways, the main... Well, throughout this one, thank you for your feedback. It was ultra real, I believe. Yep. Thank you for the feedback. Taking a little bit of that into account for this one, I'll talk a little bit about the differences between the Shitway and the Hakuryuu, since, you know, hey, it's convenient. I put out a Shitway replay yesterday, so I might as well put up a Hakuryuu replay today, right? Anyways, the Shitway, 136 total aircraft, Hakuryuu 100. Shitway with any of the 2 viable builds has 102, well, with AS that is, on the captain, has 102 total aircraft replacements, whereas Hakuryuu has 100 total aircraft, not counting replacements, i.e., you know, the ones, basically, by that I mean total replacements is how many planes deduct the ones you're launching up to get into the air, whereas Hakuryuu total aircraft is how many you have, including the ones you have flying in the air. And the Hakuryuu does have a significant flight wing up in the air as well. 10 fighters, 12 torpedo bombers, and 15 dive bombers, which give you a total of, well, I'm sleepy, mathematics, 15, 25, 32, 37 even. 37 total aircraft, so great. 66 total, total replacements, I think. What the shit. 60, what? I don't care. Something along the lines of planes. What the fuck? Why am I trying to do the math? Do mathematics so I'm sleepy and what the fuck? Anyways. Enemy fighters, I'm trying to clip the enemy Shimakaze with my torpedo bombers. I have no clue where that enemy, what the fuck that enemy fighter squadron just did, but I have even less clue what that fighter squadron did. But I get away with it really nicely. That torpedo bomber squadron didn't exactly want to drop, and I have no clue why I'm trying to drop from so far away. Anyways, let me just take manual control of the camera here, as you can see where I placed the drops. That was a really, really poorly placed set of attacks. The first one going into the void. But just watch this guy. Watch what this guy pulls. You've basically dodged this with taking minimal damage. And then you eat 4 torpedoes and die. Well done. Anyways, I managed to shoot down all the, pretty much all the enemy's fighters. He does kill some of his own with his, but I lost 4 fighters, he lost all 10. So that's a very significant fighter power advantage for me. And if you guys are looking in chat, Aerroon makes, he wants our team to clusterfuck up. Well, fine, what the hell, whatever. I'm killing destroyers, so it should be fine. You know, the Shimmer's already out of the game. Yeah, this is, you know, utility-wise, the Hakuryuu's greatest strength. It's in your ability to actually be able to reliably knock out DDs, and reliably knock out DDs fast. And on top of that, you have 3 dive bombers that you can fly around in circles around the map doing absolutely jack shit. And, you know, the enemy carry is still escorted, so still a no potential attack for me, sadly. And, of course, with our team clusterfucking up in the cap circle with what? What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares of map, and we've got like the vast majority of our fleet bar, you know, 2 destroyers and a cruiser in the bottom, you know, south. And, you know, great. At least the enemies bunch up actually literally inside of their fucking cap, so fun, fair, and dynamic gameplay, guys. But yeah, I've sunken an enemy destroyer with my 3 torpedo bomber squadrons, which allows me to actually cross-drop something that no US carrier can actually do. No, the Saipan's not a US carrier, let's be completely honest here. It's an IGN carrier with US markings. Let's be completely honest. So yeah, by taking advantage of this, basically utility advantage that I have over a Shitway in this situation, that would be, to be honest, it's my only real advantage over Shitway in a long game like this, where the enemy has quite some solid anti-aircraft. I pretty much have to play that and try to get rid of the ships that I can. In this case, 3 enemy destroyers should be the easiest targets, as the rest of the team are all clusterfucking in the corner doing absolutely jack shit, because it's a fun, fair, and dynamic way of playing, right? Anyways, I've got torpedo bombers in the southwest. Our Shimmers already snuck past on the fucking border. Great, you're very fucking useful. Oh, strangers, please don't fly near me. Let's see, are you the Shimmer that's going around the map? Yes, you're the Shimmer that's absolutely doing nothing. You know what, I wish I could fly planes to you, get you killed, because that would at least give us some more points to play with. Please, because you're useless down there. If that Shimmer had been in the middle of the map where my fighters and torpedo bombers are right now, he could have farmed at least 200,000 damage off the enemy's battleships that are just sat there fapping around doing nothing. Anyways, faffing around doing nothing, I found an enemy gearing. The enemy's carrier makes a massive mistake here. He auto-attacks my fighter that's engage his fighter first, and I can come in and basically lock his fighter down, and he's now attacking in panic mode. Anyways, just watch what I do to this gearing with 3 torpedo bomber squadrons. I'm doing some really, really ugly looking drops. My number 5 squadron's pretty far away, and I am getting ducked a bit by an Iowa, but I see that he's trying to turn, you know, in to line himself up, so I drop this kind of cross semi-anvil type drop, and, well, this is why you slow down when someone tries to cross-drop you from this far away, otherwise that happens. So he ate 2 torpedoes and bleh, died. And, well, I got shot at. I really don't care too much, to be honest. I'm an armored carrier. Fully armored carrier, even. Armor belt and armored deck. So, at that range, good luck, have fun. And there we go, I spotted the enemy Fletcher, which I knew was on this side of the map, because I pretty much left him there and contested for quite a while, and I really honestly don't care, because he's useless, and I could have you know, I stacked the 2 enemy destroyers that were actually trying to do anything, knowing, you know, I had more than enough time to kill them, launch my planes up, and then farm this Fletcher, which is exactly what I'm going to do. First time with my squadron doesn't manage to score a hit, but that doesn't really matter, I've got a second one available. By the way, I still have my 3rd one on the right side of the map doing jack shit. Anyways, I drop one of them, I set him on fire, and I leave the plane that dropped him in parked on top of his head. And he's actually turned his anti-aircraft off right now, and he's not going to turn it on for a while, but spawning it there. Anyways, I see both enemy fighters are taking off. I take another fucking scraping hit on my ship. Whatever. You guys shoot me for 0 damage, that's perfectly fine, because you just missed an opportunity to do damage to someone that's actually you can, you know, effectively pressure, because you can't pressure me. You're not gonna pressure me in this game. The enemy carry is useless. He would never even get himself in a position to attack me because I am pushing 800 fucking dual-purpose DPS 5 fucking kilometers. Good luck, have fun. Anyways, enemy fighters auto-attacking on my dive bomber, so I'm just gonna order them to run. They're empty, so I don't really care. Plus, it's only 2 planes in the squadron, so what are you gonna do? You use your fighter to attack that? You're not using your fighter to do anything useful, like protect this useless Fletcher. Well, to be honest, that's not really much useful, and you'd never get there on time anyway, since he just launches fighters, and I'd kill this Fletcher before he even, and I'd honestly have my torpedo bombers almost back on my own ship before the fighters arrive. So yeah. By the way, there's something in common that both of these 2 enemy US destroyers have. I'll tell you after I sink this guy. As you can see, I make another hilariously ugly drop. This was game not played, it certainly was not played at the best of times for me. I was quite tired, and that drop's not going to do hit. That's not doing shit, really. But yeah, the Fletchers sailed themselves into the torpedoes again, so... Well, actually, the enemy those 2 enemy actually, to be honest, all 3 of the enemy destroyers kind of had 3 things in common. 1, they all sucked out. 2, they ate torpedoes and died. And 3, the Gearing and Fletcher, neither of them had defensive AA because they're idiots, I guess. Well played. To be honest, it wasn't me well played, Keaton. It was the enemies just being bad. But hey, sometimes you just need to get lucky with bad enemies, I guess. Because let's be honest, those 2 drops I placed were really, really poor. Anyways, both enemy fighter squadrons coming in and going AFK. Okay, thank you. Anyways, I strafe into the first one and don't do shit because I thought he was going to continue. Instead, the planes went AFK, but my second strafing completely eradicated the squadron, and now I have both of them against the enemy's fighters. And I don't go for the enemy torpedo bombers, and you won't actually see me go much for the enemy torpedo bombers in this game because I want to improve my FP, my fighter power. I want to gain control over the fighter power in this match because I know it's going to be a long game, or rather I anticipate it to be one, despite having already knocked out all 3 of the enemy destroyers. The reason for this is because the enemy is a very battleship heavy force, so is ours actually, but with this many battleships around, by the way, our Shima, after, what is that, 12 minutes almost, has almost reached the enemy carrier. Almost. It'll probably still take it 5 minutes before it actually catches up. But yeah, due to this very battleship and health and armor heavy match, in a standard battle of all things, going for the enemy fighters, I can actually deplane his fighters. And as long as I protect my torpedo bomber replacements, which I have throughout the beginning of this game by attacking enemy destroyers, and the US dimwits didn't even have defensive AA, though protection of replacements goes completely out the window in a couple of minutes. Just watch what I do. Look at this. 1 single dive bomber squadron, Hindenburg, Yamato, small random AA behind for the south. Yeah, that was going to end well, strangers. Why the fuck did you do it? But yeah. Wasted replacements. But yeah, anyways, my torpedo bombers are actually getting in there, so I'm pretty much just throwing this dive bomber at the Yamato just to have it absorb the attention of the enemy's float plane fighter. So was the hope. It got completely eradicated, so that went well. Anyways, I thought the Yamato was actually going to turn towards me. He pulls a funny and starts turning away. GG, well played. You can eat all the torpedoes from this first squad, and because I'm a complete retard, I'm actually going to fuck up my number 4 squadron drop completely because I hadn't actually yet realized, well, I don't know what was going through my mind, but that's not going to hit shit because the Yamato's turning away like a bloody genius. Because turning away from torpedo bombs is a great idea, isn't it? Well, you get away with it this time because I sucked out massively. So consider yourself lucky you didn't lose another 20k extra. Anyways, the enemy sends a fighter squadron to kill off that one dive bomber down there. And I don't know, he seems to actually be paying decent attention to his torpedo bombers, as I get quite lucky to strafe 2 of them off in one go. But since this guy's almost certainly paying attention to my torpedo bombers right now, I'm going to stop strafing at them. I'm just going to auto-attack them because, hey look, he's trying to evade. And the more you try to evade, the slower your planes become. Anyways, he's probably realized that I'm not actually strafing, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to strafe you. Have fun. But yeah, using my damage squadron to strafe, I can now pull them back to the ship to resupply, and that 2 torpedo bomber squadron probably isn't going anywhere useful, and yeah. Anyways, have a look at the enemy team. Again, just look at their control of the map. They have about, you could say, pretty much all the enemy ships fit in 2 fucking map squares. If you know, look at it nicely, they fit in 2 fucking map squares. 2 out of 100 map squares, and they're all in it. This is what happens when you throw away map control, even in a standard battle game. You do nothing. Speaking of doing nothing, well played, Shimmer. You've spent the entire game sailing behind the enemy fleet, and now you're getting secondary to death by Yamato. Well done. Well fucking done. Anyways, biggest downside of the Hakuryuu, especially the Hakuryuu built in my configuration, I don't have Aircraft Servicing Expert, the tier 4 Captain skill for carriers. I actually have Focus Anti-Aircraft. And I don't even have the Aircraft Survivability skill at the upgrade at this point, because this is before the date of Defensive AA for carriers even. This was quite a replay from quite a while ago. This is 0.5.4.3, build number 163452. For those of you guys that are interested in that kind of details. Anyways, I see an amazing enemy Yamato that's just sitting there reversing. Of course, he's next to a Montana, so I am certainly going to take some replacement losses as an entire squad just ceases worldly existence. Anyways, 2 of my squadrons do manage to drop, and I do score 6 hits on him. The front torpedo's barely missing his bow. I thought he was going to start accelerating forwards, but what I should have done there is just blanket him from a little bit more range. And as you can see now, 2 squadrons completely eradicated, and I'm out of replacements. Look at it. I'm out of torpedo bombers already. And my dive bombers are getting fucking slaughtered as well. Look at them. 1 squadron pretty much eradicated before they even drop. The ones that do drop manage 3 hits to. But that doesn't really matter. I'm not going for the amount of hits here. I'm just going for the fire damage. And as you can see, that Yamato is taking so much damage over time. He's flooding and burning. So he's certainly having a good day, right? But yeah, 4 kills and well, a very funny 10 torpedo bombers left total. Because the Hakuryuu doesn't have that many replacements. I'm not going to go too much over the direct comparison between Hakuryuu and Shitway. I'll probably do that in either a OMFG episode or some, Hakuryuu or Midway, or even potentially both of those carriers in a comparison/review video, which I might consider doing later on. Perhaps after I build my, publicize my channel a bit more, and hopefully get a few more people to come along and watch it, because I think overall, I'm sure that's what a lot of people would actually appreciate, coming from, a player who's, well, if I may say so, a pretty good carrier player, so yeah. But yeah, as you can see, I pretty much ran out of replacements from 2 attacks against enemy battleships, and that will happen to you in Hakuryuu, because you don't have that many total aircraft replacements. You will run out really fast if you're not careful with them. And in a long game like this, especially in a heavy game like this, the midway is by far superior, because your planes are a lot more resilient, there are a lot more resistance to getting strafed, and because you have 36 more total aircraft than Hakuryuu, and 7 plane fighter squadrons against the Hakuryuu in a long game like this, to deplane his fighters, it's actually viable for you to just do retarded looking ugly head-on strafings against them. And even a head-on strafing will kill 2, 3, if you're lucky, maybe even 4 of his fighters in it if you attack far enough away. And, you can just do that. You can just head-on strafe for so many plane kills. You pretty much almost wipe out an entire squadron in one run, and that really does help in the long run for the AS. Now here, I'm trying to get the drop on the Yamato. My number 4 squadron decides to go full fucking retard, and I never actually managed to lock the enemy fighter. You can actually see this because I've selected all my aircraft, but yeah, the focus there was to get the torpedo bombers to actually drop, which does cost me my replacements. But yeah, anyways, the enemy is completely deplaned of fighters now. This Yamato just got shat on, so her anti-aircraft won't be an issue for me anymore. yeah, basically out of the beta bombers now as well. But yeah, they are also out of ships. So, anyways, a minute left of the game. Have a look at this Iowa. We have 2 destroyers capping, but just watch. This Iowa is almost certainly not focusing his anti-aircraft. And just look at how many planes he's actually able to kill off. Anyways, I drop one on 3, it's 1 fire. Sadly, he's already burning, but I realized that we're basically capping, so I pretty much really fast loop my planes around to get another drop off on him. And that's it for my game, basically. It's over. Blop. Anyways, 25 torpedo bomber hits, 17 dive bomber hits, 32 aircraft shot down. A large majority of these were fighters, except for a few of the torpedo bombers I clipped. Mid-late game, 3 incapacitations doesn't really matter because I sank the destroyers with torpedo bombers straight, 4 kills, 3 of which were on enemy destroyers, and you'll see how much they did in the game later on. And a kill off an enemy battleship, 6 fires and 8 floodings. Having a look at the team scores, top 1 XP, thank you enemy destroyers for being dumb enough to eat my torpedoes, very well appreciated. You will be not remembered, and I hope you meet again, and I can farm you even more. Great, GG, well played. Anyways, the entire enemy team clusterfucked in the corner. They did nothing, they threw away any map control, any initiative whatsoever. To be honest, what they should have done is push through the open area because our fleet was inferior, denied the carrier the time needed to take out the destroyers, and then actually work on the rest of the forces. Anyways, having a look, you can see our Shimakaze 1297 experience because he was spending the first 15 minutes doing nothing and maybe hit like 2-3 torpedoes, and that's going to give him a decent amount of experience because fun, fair, and dynamic gameplay compared to the Tirpitz Iowa, the Tirpitz above that, and the Hindenburg, who actually succeeded in getting less experience. Don't even know how that's fucking possible. But anyways, our other 2 destroyers, the Fubuki and the Luoyang. Sadly, the Luoyang with overall shorter range torpedoes, and the fact that I got rid of the enemy destroyers, he pretty much didn't have much more to do from there on, but the Fubuki did quite well, trying to torpedo the enemy battleships, despite the fact that he was one of the ones to cap it out later on, but to be honest, by then it didn't really matter much. We could potentially have sank the enemy Iowa, but I would not have been able to get aircraft up on time to sink the Hakuryuu. So yeah, to me, at that position, whatever, it didn't really matter. And they might have thought that we would have gotten a draw if they didn't cap out. So, hey, kudos to him, the Fubuki, he did actually play quite well. But yeah, looking at the total aircraft shot down, we were actually, believe it or not, in a position to have pretty much deplaned the enemy's Hakuryuu. He would have had a few strike wings left, but, you know, just like me at the end of the game, he's, from now on, basically combat ineffective, but because the game was basically over, you kind of want to be in this position in such a battleship-heavy game, because then it means you've probably pushed out your maximum potential damage output, which I know this guy hasn't, because he never really contested me, and he never really went for the targets that he needed to carry his otherwise pretty shitty team to have any kind of chance whatsoever. And since he never effectively contested me, I could take out the 3 destroyers in peace, basically. Anyways, enough about the team scores. Let's have a look at the post-battle detailed report. 129,218 torpedo bomber raw alpha. Considering it was a pretty heavy anti-aircraft setup, and I completely fucked up my drop against that Yamato, basically having 4 torpedoes sail off into the void doing nothing for no apparent real reason. That's not bad at all. 30,792 dive bomber direct hits, that really doesn't matter. The fire damage doesn't really matter. 11,284, not that great, but the flooding damage of 26,509 was kind of unexpected. But I was working with, with my division, trying to get them to tell me, if I remember correctly, the enemy ships that have used damage control party, and if I had an ability to attack them, I would go in and hit them after that. So, you know, damage-wise overall, especially considering the fact that I sank all 3 enemy destroyers and not all of them were that great on health, like the Fletcher and the Geary. They didn't have the most amount of health for me to farm off them. still being able to pick up, what is this, 180-ish K damage, that's certainly not a bad game. Especially considering the fact that I had expended all of my aircraft reserves for this match. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay cast. Just wanted to drop a note in that reviews are kind of where I would like to talk more specifically about ships, their traits. OMFG, well, the first one almost certainly is going to be regarding carriers, because it's a topic that does kind of interest me, I guess you could say the least too. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this second replay, follow-up replay to that of the Shitway one I played. It's certainly not a 260,000 damage game or greater, but I think this quite decently showcases the power of the Hakuryuu in outright trying to carry a game when compared to that of the Shitway. But anyways, more on that later on in potentially a Shitway Hakuryuu comparison, where I compare both of these two ships, their strengths, their weaknesses, how you should play them, or how they play out overall during a battle, their configurations, their builds, to say. And yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and again, I've droned on for quite a long time. I will see you guys in the next one.